girlies, welcome back to another video. It is so early in the morning. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, and I am only just going to get school food. It's the first day back for the year, and typical me, I have left it to the last minute. So I'm up early to go get some school food, and then I think I might take my son out for breakfast. He doesn't start school till tomorrow as well, so that's the plan for this morning, is to quickly go grab some school food and get us going for the year. I can't believe the school holidays are over. Like, it's gone so quick already. Normally I'm like, yes, cannot wait for him to go back, and yes, I'm happy for them to go back to school today, but like, I'm gonna miss them. I don't know, it's been a nice peaceful holiday. But yeah, that's me. All flustered already, starting my morning, my year off great for the school. And yeah, I'm off to go get the shopping done. And I thought today that we would sit down. I mentioned in my last vlog that I took some time off at the end of last year, so I thought what better time than now to fill you in with what's been happening. I'm actually really tired. I had not a good night's sleep. My neck is playing up again. I suffer from chronic back pain, which has also led to chronic neck pain, and they just feed off each other. So it's been kind of hard. My back's doing really well at the moment, apart from my periods. I mentioned in my last vlog as well that I thought I might have been due for my periods, and your girl was right, not the app. I was right, so that's been fun. But apart from that, I'm tired. I am tired and in pain, but it's okay. We are still thriving. I'm still going strong with my treadmills every day, and I'm actually feeling great. So I'm gonna go to the shop, get this done, and then I will check in and fill you guys in later. Okay, we just got back from breakfast. I didn't vlog it while we were there. It was kind of crowded, and I just wasn't going to do it. But it was pretty funny. I ordered a huge milkshake for my son, and it's one of those, I don't know, what do you call them, like one of those mega milkshakes where it's got the donuts on top and all of that. Like, should have seen his face when they brought it out. It was so funny. He was slightly embarrassed. But yeah, so breakfast is yummy. We actually were full very quickly, which is unusual for him especially. Anyway, so I don't know why this is so hard to make this video, but it's also just going to talk about it. It's actually hard. And what are you doing, my baby? Okay, he's now on my lap because it's the only way I can keep him from barking. Hey, mister. Yes, mummy's boy. All right, so I've gone back and forth with where I want to start this YouTube journey off. So I started documenting my journey almost 2 years ago over on Instagram, and I've gone back and forth with where I want to fill you guys in. One, because it's a long way to go back, but you'd be here for a week if I did start from the beginning. So ultimately I've just decided that I'm just going to start where I'm at now and fill you guys in with what's been happening over the last few months, because if you are here from my Instagram, you would have realized that I did disappear towards the end of last year, and I've only just started getting back into things. So as you know, I suffer from chronic back pain. I've been dealing with this since the birth of my fourth child. She's now just turned 6, and unfortunately I've never really got a diagnosis. So the birth of my fourth child, it was very unplanned. It didn't go as I thought it would. I assumed that I was just going to go in there, pop her out and be on my way like the other ones, but that wasn't the case, and it ended with an emergency cesarean, which I was not mentally prepared for. I suffer from anxiety, and when it comes to wounds, I don't do well. So it took me longer than the average person. I couldn't even look at my wound after having my daughter for like a week after I was home, because I just couldn't face it. I could feel it. Like, it felt literally, for the first few months, it felt like I could still feel my body was cut in half. Like, it's so, I don't know, so dramatic, but that's honestly what it felt like. I just didn't cope well with it, and which meant that my body was just under so much stress. So on top of that, I ended up getting the Mirena, which is a type of contraception, which I think they insert into your cervix. And that's when my whole life turned upside down. I don't do well with a lot of supplements, a lot of medications, and I've struggled with my hormones for many years. Practically since I started getting a period, basically, and I've never been properly diagnosed. It's always, here, take this pill, be on your way. And that was just the case. Another form of contraception that I felt pressured to take, because I'm obviously very fertile, as they said, and I gave in and I took it because she's our last baby and we didn't plan on having any more, so I wanted to just take something that would cover me for 5 years. Well, my body did not like that. It rejected it, and for the next 8 months of having it in, I felt like I was living like I was on my deathbed every single day, and it was excruciating, to the point where my body was shutting down. I could no longer move. I couldn't clean my house. Like, just to get up out of bed every day was excruciating. Just to get up and be a mum. Like, all of my energy went into being a mum. I never really bounced back from it, which is where all of my muscles started to shut down and become inactive, because I wasn't able to move for so long. Picture me going from being someone who's very active, very, like, I would love to work out, I love getting in there and hanging out with the kids and running around, and, you know, if the kids are on the playground, I'm the one up there with them and I'm having fun with them. I went from doing that to not even being able to pick up my baby. Like, it was excruciating. I finally found a doctor and demanded that it be taken out. When I tell you, I went home and cleaned my house top to bottom, like, not even a lie. I went home, they told me that it might take a day or so to start feeling a little bit better or feel any different, and I literally went home that day and cleaned my house top to bottom. Over 8 months, I was begging for this to be taken out. I had scans, oh, it was right, it hadn't moved, blah, 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 everything's fine. Then they tried giving me, like, oral contraception to have on top of that. Like, it was a shit show. I wasn't being heard, and that was the biggest thing. It's the story of my life when it comes to doctors, is that they never listened to me. And look, I'm not against doctors. I have to take medication for my asthma, and, you know, that's what keeps me alive. My asthma is something that is so severe that without this medication, I would be dead. So I am grateful for that, but certain things that I really, as a woman, I really wish that I was heard more. When I finally found the doctor that would listen to me and I demanded that it get taken out, as soon as she called the clinic and they returned my call and I gave them my symptoms, they told me to come in immediately. So they knew what was happening. They knew that it was dangerous for my body, for me, and they knew that it had to be removed, but the doctors weren't listening to me. Going through all of this sent me into a depression. Like, it was so hard, and even after getting it out, I still went back to the doctors and I was asking, because I had pain in my stomach and I was so worried internally that there was something going on. I was sent to physio. And I was getting back pain, so I was like, okay, I'll go, whatever. Looking back now, I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Like, I wasn't being heard, but it's like this mental cycle of I keep going back to the same doctor because it's giving me temporary relief, and it's draining to have to search for someone who's willing to listen. And I chose the temporary relief. So when I started going to physio, I don't know what happened, but this physio just ruined my life. I didn't have chronic back pain. I was still able to move after I had the marina taken out, and I was happy again. Things were fine. After seeing this physio for so many years, I ended up just giving up because I was like, doctors aren't hearing me, they're not listening to me, the physio's not doing anything. All he's telling me is I'm restricted, I can't do this, I'll never be able to do this, and making me feel so closed in, and I was losing myself. And the only energy that I had was just to be a mum. It's the only energy that I had left in me, and I've suffered for that many years until I decided just to stop getting help, and I took matters into my own hands. And that was when I decided to start sharing this journeys, because I needed to try and figure out for myself before I started searching for some more help, because it was just, I was getting nowhere. And I had success. I went off all contraception. I changed my lifestyle. I started really focusing on eating healthier. I did research on how to balance my hormones and what to eat, and I did well. I have now regulated my hormones. My periods were all over the place, and when I tell you, before I went off the pill, the symptoms were so severe leading up to a period. It was scary how bad the symptoms were. I still get some pretty horrible symptoms now, but they are nowhere near what they were a few years ago when I was on contraception. My body just does not do well. So after doing research and taking things into my own hands, it was working for a good while until it wasn't. Until I was still doing the exercises that the physio gave me, and they gave me temporary relief to get me through, because without doing those exercises, I couldn't get through the day, because I couldn't move. I was in so much pain. And when you're a mum, you have no choice. You have to get through the day. So it was really starting to affect me physically and mentally. Towards the end of last year, life was just crumbling. Everything just felt like it was crumbling around me, and I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up physically. Again, I had a flare up towards the end of last year, and I just couldn't recover from it. Nothing was working, and I knew, I was so scared that something was wrong, was more severe than it had been, and that it was only going to get worse. I started seeing a podiatrist, and it was just so nice to finally have someone listen. It was the first doctor that was willing to listen to me, even if it wasn't his expertise. He was willing to listen to me, and he was trying to help me in any way possible. So I started doing some new exercises for my legs and my feet, and I did them for a good while, but then even that wasn't helping anymore. Nothing was helping. Everything was getting worse. So that's when I went back to my doctor, and that's when he could tell that there was something wrong. There was something going on, and that I wasn't coping. When the end of last year hit, I was basically done. I don't know how much fight I had left in me. I was tired of living in pain every day. I was tired of not being able to be the mum that I know I am. I was tired of sitting back on the sideline and having to watch my kids play. I was tired of not even being able to sit on a park bench and take my kids out because I couldn't sit on a park bench, because I was in so much pain. I was tired. I wasn't keeping up. Everything was just piling on top of me, and that's when I knew that I had to take a step back. That's when I knew that sharing my journey right then and there, I wasn't able to do it. I had to really take some time off and really reset and figure things out. So my podiatrist actually referred me to a place, hooked me up with a great physiotherapist there, and everything has just turned around. I've been seeing my physio. I've had probably 4 sessions, and I'm now moving around. You guys saw, if you see my shorts, I'm back on the treadmill, starting to feel what normal feels like, in a sense. Like, that's so crazy to think, but that's what it feels like. Like, I forgot, all I wanted was to feel like that normal human being that could move around and do things, and I forgot what that felt like, and I'm starting to feel that way. And why? Because I found people that would listen to me. It's almost as if I'm relearning to walk again. In the meantime, I did find out that I do have arthritis in my spine. I think it's my L5S1. I think that's what it's called, but it's in the lower part of my spine, and that would explain why I can't sit. It's going to be there forever, and it scares me that it may get worse as I age. But again, physical movement is my best friend. The hardest part of it all is when you have a passion for fitness and you have a passion for working out and you just love moving your body, but it starts to become a chore when I have to do it, not because I want to do it, but because I have to do it. And when I start to go through a depression because of all of this, it's really hard to get up and move, because my head is in this battle of get up and do it. You're gonna feel better. Get up and do it. Like, just get up and move your body. But my body won't physically move. It feels like someone is just pushing me down. It won't physically let my body get up, but my mind is telling me get up. Like, does that even make sense? But that's what it feels like. Like, and it's shit. It's a constant battle that I go through, and all I want is to be able to move my body the way that I used to be able to. I loved HIIT workouts. I love the intensity. I love the sweat. I love the muscle pain. Like, I love that hardcore workouts. I lived for it, and now I have to be careful. And I always seem to take it that one step further and flare it up again, which sucks, but I'm learning. I'm getting there, and there is hope for me to move around. What's going on with me, like, the arthritis isn't going to go away, but I'm not going to feel the way I am forever. And I will learn that balance. But instead of me walking out of there feeling restricted of you can't do this, you can't do that, like blah, 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 like, I walked out of there with hope, and I walked out of there knowing that I'm on rest and that it's temporary and that we have a plan to move forward and for me to be able to start moving my body. When I tell you that rest is what I needed, oh my God. Like, I took the whole 6 weeks off that the kids have been on school holidays, and I rested. Like, I've basically hibernated. If I didn't write back to you, I'm sorry. I just needed to disappear, and I just wanted to be with my family, and I just wanted to just recover. I'm getting there. I'm able to move my body. When I went into her, I couldn't arch my back. I couldn't move to the side. I couldn't bend forward. I had no movement whatsoever. And that's because I had built up such a fear of movement that I couldn't move because I was afraid of the pain. And now I'm starting to learn. One thing that I would say when you're looking for a doctor, when you're looking for a specialist, is not only do you want someone that's going to listen to you, but you want someone who's also going to educate you. So the first physiotherapist I saw for a while, and he talked really fast and he talked his physio talk and all of that, and I didn't understand what he was saying. And then one day I said, but what's actually wrong with me? Until this day, I don't know what he said. And even when I asked him a few times that day, and he just would not explain to me. When I tried to tell him other things that were hurting and that I knew something was wrong there, he ignored me. With Ash, she's listened to everything, but not only does she listen to me, she validates what I'm feeling. And she doesn't just validate it like, I understand what you're going through. Like, she doesn't just empathize. She actually confirms it. She gives me an explanation as to what's going on, and then she educates me. And that is what is so special about the people that I'm seeing now, is that they educate me. My podiatrist does the same thing. They educate me, they listen to me, and it's just been such a weight lifted. And I know it's only been a few months and it's only just beginning, but considering how I was when I went into her, considering my mental state and to what I am now, like, I'm getting videos out to you guys now. I filmed like 4 YouTube videos towards the end of last year, and none of them went up. And now I'm just like, yep, let's just get it done. I will do a video because I have changed a few things in my routine that I do. I think that that's really helping. So I will do a video about that, and because I really think that might help someone, especially because I know I'm not alone in this. I know that there are so many mums out there that are going through what I'm going through, who don't recover from childbirth and don't feel heard, don't feel valued, and just feel belittled when it comes to our bodies, because our bodies have done so much, right? So this is the reason that I started sharing my journey in the first place, because I'm not the only mum in the world. I've had so many conversations with so many mums, and they struggle with the same things. And if I can just give one mum hope, then I've done my job right. Like, this is what I feel called to do, is to be the voice, because I wish that I had someone that I could just watch when I felt so alone, when I felt like no one understood me, no one got me, no one understood the pain. Like, I wish that I came across a video that was exactly this. So this is why I'm doing this. I'm doing good. I'm getting there. Some days are very hard. I don't take anything for my depression and my anxiety. It has calmed down a lot. Pain is my biggest trigger at the moment, and managing the pain and really listening to my body and being aware of how far I can move, and just having the right people supporting me, it's helping me to bring down that level of pain, which then in turn brings down my anxiety. Of course, my hormones, don't even get me started. That's a whole other topic, but my hormones are like a trigger for my anxiety. So like, it's everything feeding off each other, and when things aren't diagnosed properly, it's a wreck. So I hope that you've understood a little bit of this video. I will obviously talk more as I share my journey, but the bottom line is, living with chronic back pain put me in a severe depression. It skyrocketed my anxiety. If you've seen my TikTok where I decided to just cut my hair off, there are so many comments on there about my hand shaking, and it's normal. Like, I'm shaking a little bit now. It's normal. Like, it's just my anxiety. It's become normal for me, but it's just so funny to hear people like so shocked that it's not normal, and I'm realizing now that shaking like that kind of isn't normal. So and also I went back to therapy too. So therapy, physiotherapy, no antidepressants. We tried that towards the end of last year, had a severe reaction to that, and holy crap, that scared the shit out of me, and I will not take that stuff again because my body rejects everything. But yeah, I think I've said enough of what I can say. I've always said I can write a novel about my life because that's just the type of life that I've had. But one thing that I'm grateful for that never left was my humour. I'm still able to be a smart ass and make a joke and just make a shitty situation feel even just the tiniest little bit lighter with a bit of sarcasm. So that's it for today. I really hope this makes sense. But if it doesn't, you will learn more. If not, you'll see that I'm just crazy and I go from here to here to here. Like, I'm just all over the place. That's just me. It is what it is. I swear. That is my favourite saying. It seems to be, it is what it is. That's like my life motto. Anyway, I'm off. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any videos that I upload. I'm hoping to upload 2 videos a week because I'm absolutely loving this new journey that I'm on, this new chapter. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.